Survivor Vanuatu is widely considered the beginning of the middle era of Survivor after the massive deal that All Stars was with its returning players and excessive coverage on TV, magazines, and Rob and Amber just dominating the news. It was time to go back to doing an all-new cast of contestants and start fresh, just like in Borneo. New location, new players, but with a familiar twist. So how does it all pan out? Let's find out. Very quickly, I want to thank you all for watching what I make and ultimately supporting what I do here with liking, commenting, and sharing. For only a few bucks a month on Patreon, you can pick what videos I make, watch all of this channel's content early, chat with other fans of the show, and even get exclusive videos every month. Thank you for your support.
39 days, 18 people, 1 survivor.
Number 1, the thematic twist. The thematic twist for this season is quite simple and yet might give you a little deja vu. Men versus women, part 2. Last time it was fun, but this time it's cutthroat. Right from the beginning of the season, the animosity begins between the genders as the men are given preferential treatment by the natives.
We look over and the guys, like we're like kneeling on a mat and they all have like little stump seats to sit on and they're like right in the center of the action and we're kind of off the side. And so I immediately start thinking, what's with this? I thought we were all supposed to be part of this ceremony.
The men end up being clueless that the women are out to get them, and this really drives the narrative all season. In season 6, the Amazon, when they did this twist, by the time the tribe swap happened, everyone was getting along great with the other sex. It was just fun in games. This time, the 2 men who go to the women's camp encounter the female Boston Rob, and the women who go to the men's camp turn their flirting and charms up to 11. So when the merge hits, the men are blindsided.
9th person voted out of Survivor Vanuatu. Rory, need to bring your torch.
This all works, as from that first merge vote on, the season is full of twists and flips, all because of the gender split. Last time it was fun, this time it's dramatic. The only issue that this season has is the first half is pretty predictable due to knowing what will happen, but it sets up an epic second half of the season. The thematic twist for Survivor Vanuatu gets an 8 out of 10. Number 2, production quality. First off, I love this location. The volcanoes, the locals, and the scenery are simply gorgeous. This is the first time in this chronological watch of the seasons I thought to myself, man, if only this season was shot in HD, because Vanuatu really deserves it. However, this season is a tale of 2 stories from a storytelling standpoint. The first half of the season is slow and suffers due to a frenetic pacing in the first 3 episodes that makes it really hard to get to know the characters. The premiere episode is only an hour long, though production had planned it to be 90 minutes. Therefore, while the opening ceremony is super cool, it eats into time where we should be getting to know the characters instead. Since this change happened a week or so before the season aired, I don't blame the show, but it does hurt setting up everyone and everything. We get 1 normal episode before they do a twist in episode 3 where both tribes have to go to tribal, and tribal just eats up a bunch of time, and a guy visits the girls' camp, which just eats up a bunch of time as well, and really only dives into who Eliza is. It's basically the Eliza show almost all episode, and once again establishing the great cast of characters is just really hampered because of this twist. Unfortunately, the really good parts of the season don't begin until episode 5 and don't really take off into the stratosphere until episode 9 when Chris votes for Sarge. From there, it becomes an instant classic and a fascinating ride to the finish. The slow start to the season really hampers things despite the beautiful location and the occasional interesting challenge. Production for Survivor Vanuatu gets a 6 out of 10. Number 3, strategic play. You know those players who sit on their hands and seemingly do nothing to make the strategic play fun to watch? Well, they're all voted out pre-merge this season. The players who all make the merge came to play, and it makes for a wild ride as Amy is trying to Boston Rob the entire season and she almost pulls it off. She got so close. But this isn't Survivor All-Stars. Oh no, the players here vote for what is in their best interests almost constantly. It is very cutthroat come the merge, and by the time it all comes down to one man, it gets really crazy and the drama is just cranked up to 11 as people are manipulating, backstabbing, and getting really mad at each other. There are no game bots here. Everyone is playing with emotion and it just makes for great TV. While no new strategies are formed this season, you could argue that Bubba trying to tell Chris to throw the challenge was something unique, since we have seen a throne challenge before, but we have never seen the other tribe trying to tell another tribe to throw the challenge, just so that when they reach the merge, they have a better shot as the men. The strategic play this season is stellar once it comes to the merge, but it does get an 8 out of 10 due to the slow start at the beginning of the game. Number 4, the characters. Wow, what a season filled with great characters that almost get completely forgotten due to time and the burnout people felt right after Survivor All-Stars. You have JP, who doesn't understand that embers are not pronounced amber.
We actually had a hot amber, which was very pink. I think we were all excited to see a hot amber, but none of us knew what to do with it. We're just kind of like, yeah, we've got amber.
Bubba, who has some iconic jokes and even tries to get the other tribe to throw the challenge and still gets caught, and then gets in trouble with his own tribe for trying to get the other tribe to throw the challenge. John Kenny, the lazy one. Rory, who doesn't take orders from anyone since he is a grown man and is basically the star of the first half of the season.
Sarge wants to dictate when people take a crap, when people take a bath. I'm a grown-ass man, and I don't take orders real well.
Sarge, who is such a goof and has a flirt romance with Julie Berry, aka Jeff Probst's love interest.
Julie is an exhibitionist. I mean, she's comfortable with it. And I told him I'm comfortable with it because I've been in Europe.
Sarge! What are you doing? What are you doing?
I just glanced over there. Sarge has his ass hanging out. Probably is an image that will never leave my memory.
Julie is a bad influence!
Chad, who is the first player with a prosthetic leg. Amy, aka the female Boston Rob, aka the Ice Queen. Eliza Orleans, aka the girl who lost the game in the pre-merge and yet still gets herself within inches of final tribal council. Scout, the old kind lady who secretly manipulates behind the scenes.
When I came out here, I was determined to play the game with integrity and honesty and truth. And if that didn't work, that I'd lie, cheat, and steal. We've now reduced ourselves to the lie, cheat, and steal part.
Twyla, the loud, tough old broad who doesn't take any crap from anyone. And Chris, the ultimate grandstander who schmoozes everyone and has everyone eating out of the palm of his hand by the end of the game.
In the latter stages of the game, I found that the money started talking. I started looking at getting to the end no matter what. And I look at the 7 people on the jury. Everybody sitting over there possesses a genuine quality that they looked past the $1 million, and it's something I didn't do. It's something I'll take with me to try to become a better person.
It's a great cast, hampered by a slow start to the season, and thankfully the merge only contains the best characters. They are good on a first watch, but so much funnier on a rewatch. Since the characters are so important to any season, their score gets twice the weight, and the characters here score a 9 out of 10. Number 5, the winner. If you like when a winner has their back up against the wall and basically throws logic almost completely out the window and just goes 100 at all moments in time, then you'll really like Chris once episode 9 begins to wrap up, because when he votes for Sarge, it just goes full 100 for his game.
I'm gonna burn every one of them. Just let them open a door. This is for you, not against you.
Before the Sarge vote, he's just a likable guy who had the numbers until the women screw him over at the merge. But once Sarge is voted out, he goes full on crazy and just schmoozes, lies, and BS's almost everyone at every step of the way until all culminates in one of, if not the, greatest final tribal council performances I have ever witnessed. He wins over a jury that not only doesn't like him, but only contains 2 of his peers. The other 5 are from the women's tribe, and if it weren't for Scout calling him out on his BS, he probably would have gotten away with the final tribal council too without anyone being the wiser. He constantly was a showman who loved being dramatic, and him winning the Final 4 immunity challenge will always remain stuck in my head.
I got it! I got it! I got it! I got it! Chris! Yeah!
Wins immunity!
The satisfaction for the winner of the season is largely dependent on your tolerance for someone who throws logic out the window and just manipulates and lies to his heart's content, but I love a winner who tries to entertain and acts like a villain, but makes it fun to watch. So for me, he garners a 10 out of 10. With all that said, should you watch Survivor Vanuatu? Yes! But be patient with the first 4 episodes. Once episode 5 starts and there is a literal earthquake, that is when the game really starts. Everything in the first 4 episodes is just fun, just enjoy the ride, but once it hits episode 5, that's when the game really starts. It's a season that can be enjoyed by anyone and has a lot of fun, dramatic, and great strategic moments that will get you talking to others about it. The only thing I can think about this season that might be a little off-putting to some, so a fair warning here, is that Chris does make the occasional sexist remark, but these are truly mild and are all in good fun as part of his villainous role. Nothing like what Johnny Fairplay or Brian Heidig did in their respective seasons. Taking all the scores, adding them up, averaging them out, comes to Survivor Vanuatu getting an 8.2 out of 10. Tune in next time as we kick off Survivor Palau. Thanks for watching, and if you like the content you see here, then please consider supporting me and this channel on Patreon. Your financial support makes all this possible, so thank you, and thank you for watching.